Hello, good morning and welcome to Ireland AM on Virgin Media 1 and Virgin Media Player. It's Thursday the 7th of December and you know it's Christmas when Ray Foley's in studio, isn't that right? You're just like
I'm dressed
Santa Claus.
like a Christmas tree, yeah, ho ho ho. The jolly fat man has arrived early.
Stop it. Stop it.
Welcome to Thursday. We've got plenty to chat about, from superstars to cinema screenings. Let's get into it.
Let's indeed. We're going to talk to one of the biggest boy bands in pop music history. Take That, which is the favourite Take That song?
Relight My Fire. Easy.
Oh, so good. We're going to be talking to them ahead of their Irish tour dates next year. That's coming up at 8:15.
We'll also be catching up with Clare Dunne, best known for her role in Kin, about her new villainous role in the Gay Theatre. That's about 9:20 this morning.
And a fella who knows Clare Dunne, of course, because of his job as our movie man. That's his official title. Good morning, Brian Lloyd. It's lovely to have you here. We're talking Willy Wonka prequel. Are you happy?
Yes, I am, and I can admit this now because Alan Hughes isn't here. I hate Panto and I hate musicals. And I went into Wonka expecting to hate it, and I actually loved it. I thought it was great.
Shots fired.
That's
Shots
so
fired.
good. And I'm expecting, pack of sausages. Sammy,
He's gonna kill me. Yeah.
Hooked out.
Yeah, literally like shit. Yeah, can't stand musicals.
Your days are numbered. Days are numbered, Lloyd.
Yeah.
He's getting a smack off a sausage
That's
when Alan comes back. Our favourite firefighting chef is over in the kitchen. No sausages. Paul Knapp is here. What are you making for us this morning,
No sausages this morning. We are doing an alternative Christmas dinner. So instead of kind of the classic beef Wellington, we're doing a plant-based kind of a beef Wellington with a kind of a soya-based meat product.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely. That's
very
really great.
interesting.
Well, for the
Looking
vegan and
forward to
vegetarian,
that.
you're like, this Christmas. Yeah.
And Derek has been very subtle about what he thinks the bosses should be calling him in Dublin City Centre this morning. Do we have it there? There he is. He's epic. He's epic, everybody. There he is. He's got the sign.
Untamed ego.
Absolutely. Good morning, guys. We're live here from the CHQ in Dublin this morning. Now it's quite a damp and drizzly start, and in fact we've plenty of rain pushing up from the southwest later on today, so quite a wet, quite a windy one out there for the 7th of the month. Now this morning it's all about the wonderful everyday, because we're talking all things sustainability and interior design with IKEA in the run up to the festive season. So we've got upcycling, we have got recycling, and we also have a flat pack challenge. 1 minute on the clock coming your way later on this morning. And you know me, I do love a challenge, don't I?
You do. We've made you do a lot recently. IKEA challenge.
All right.
I know.
We're going to get him just to do the Swedish voice. Wonderful.
I'm down for that kind of thing. I'm pretty good. I like the. Well, I tell myself I like to think I'm a dab hand at the flat pack assembly, but sure, we'll see. That's coming up a little later.
You're not getting to do it.
Oh, I just get to watch it.
You get to watch it.
Oh,
babe.
well, that's disappointing. That's
yeah,
fine.
I know. Welcome back. Now, the government's own fiscal watchdog has accused it of using gimmickry to downplay an inflation-busting €12 billion budget giveaway for next year. 12 billion.
12 billion.
12 billion. There's gone here. There's 12 billion. You all right?
Yeah, well, lots of giveaways, and they're talking, well, that the focus is on how they're spending it and how they're spending over the next couple of years. We'll have a look at that story as well as the others making the headlines this morning, just after the break. Stay with us.
It's time now to take a look at this morning's papers. We're going to start with the Irish Examiner. Its headline: Senator says his harasser got off lightly. A Fine Gael politician, Michael Carrigy, who was harassed with threats made to his children and his home, has claimed his perpetrator got off lightly, and that the suspended sentence handed down to his harasser is not enough of a deterrent to others.
€127,000, that's the basic combined salary a couple must earn to buy a new 3-bed semi in Dublin. That's the top story on the Daily Mail this morning. A new report published today has found that couples looking to buy their first home in either Dublin, Cork or Galway will need to have combined salaries of more than €100,000.
The Mirror's front page letter of the law. Declan Hawley, the man who dragged his dying uncle to a post office and tried to claim his pension, could be sent back to jail for stealing an €8 earring.
The Star leads with Have a Goo Hero Deliveroo driver Caio Benicio yesterday toasted generous donors who have given over €700,000 to those who tackled the knife man attacking school children in Dublin.
And the Sun leads with I could have been number one. Well, so could any Wham. Shane MacGowan is set to be beaten to number one.
They're doing a lot of work at that headline.
They are. Now, can I just say, this is also in the UK by Wham's Last Christmas. Fans had hoped to finally get the Pogues' Fairy Tale of New York to the top spot for his funeral.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But it's still likely, well, the number one over here is yet to be decided.
But you're right, that is a lot of work on that headline.
It's a long one. And the Herald this morning has Captain Jack Sorrow, actor Johnny Depp, has confirmed that he's going to fly in to say a last sad farewell to his longtime friend Shane McGowan at his funeral in Dublin tomorrow morning.
Budgetary gimmickry poses risk to economy, warns IFAC. That's the front page of the Irish Times. The government's repeated breaching of its own spending rule has resulted in 6.6 billion of additional expenditure. Since 2021, the Irish Fiscal Advisory Council has warned.
And finally, the Irish Independent also leads with that same story. Coalition accused of gaming budget rules to hide spend. In the report, the IFAC says the government has ignored spending overruns in health, blurred the lines between permanent and one-off measures, and failed to target cost of living supports to those who need them most.
Joining us with that story and everything else this morning is the Assistant News Editor of the Business Post, Sarah McGuinness. Good morning.
Good morning.
IFAC, IFAC, what you say
the
potato?
Kids call it
I
IFAC.
say the kids call it IFAC. Whoops a daisy. I didn't know about Riz the other day and now this. It's over for me. So this is, I have to say, not surprising. We kind of know that they like to breach their own budget.
IFAC have been given, and also it's not surprising that IFAC are giving out about it because they've been giving out about it since the summer, and they're going to keep giving out about it because the government is set to just keep on going, breaking this rule. So basically, IFAC they give the government advice on how to spend their money, particularly when it comes to the budget. And the government in 2021 set this 5% spending rule. So spending can't increase year on year by more than 5%, but then basically kind of said, rules are meant to be broken, and have breached it every year since and are set to breach it until 2026 at least. So this IFAC have now said that since 2021, this has cost 6.6 billion euro in additional spending. And they're basically saying that they are taking on this everything now approach where they're cutting taxes and they're throwing the kitchen sink at taxpayers because there's an election coming up, not that IFAC are making that connection. And that basically they're trying to do everything for everyone, and it's not going to work because they're adding too much stimulus to the economy. It's going to overheat, and so, there's something's got to give, basically.
Because they did keep on saying, going up to the budget, how are you lads? Everything that Europe is doing is trying to deflate the economy, and what you're doing is
just fanning the flames, and they're saying that the specific quote was that they risk repeating the mistakes of the past, and you don't need to be that old to remember the mistakes of the past. It's not that far in the past.
You really don't.
No.
It's a very recent past, and they kind of pinpointed the overrun in health spending, which also just seems like the HSE kind of basically said a couple of days before the budget, lads, we're already kind of in a deficit going into next year anyway. So it doesn't look grim. Overall, they said that the economy is resilient and performing pretty well, but this is going to keep going for the next 4 years at least. So no doubt we'll be seeing plenty more.
And there was particular criticism of their budgeting in health as well. They were that's where most of the money was going.
And with the corporate tax take kind of going down, it was healthy in November, we know, but the corporate tax take is going down. But listen,
more on money, more bad news on money. Particularly if you want to build a house, this is the cost. This is the Irish Independent, Charlie Weston writing that building from scratch, it's gone up by nearly 100 grand over the last 3 years.
Yeah, so the average salary in Ireland is 45 grand, and the combined salary to build a house in Dublin that you would need is 128,000 euro.
Is that to buy it like a semi-D?
That's to build like a standard three,
128,000 euro.
To build like a bog standard 3-bedroom, semi-detached in Dublin.
And the average salary of a nurse is 45 grand,
yeah.
Say. Right,
so that's gone up, as Ray said, by 90,000 euro in the last 3 years. And it's basically because of the cost of fuel, the cost of energy, and the cost of shipping things. But it's mad all over the country. So the cost of building the Northwest is kind of now the cheapest area to build, but that's still where Dublin was 3 years ago. That's still increased as well. So it costs 354,000 euro to build a home in somewhere like Cavan or Donegal or Leitrim. But now it costs 461,000 to build in Dublin, and it's the same in cities all over. The average salary that you'd need in Galway is 115,000 euro. which is like absolutely insane because, you know, like cities are where jobs are at, you know, unless you're working remotely or you're willing to pay like down the nose for the cost of petrol and your car, like it's...
We know that we're exporting the problem from our cities, from Dublin, from
Yeah.
Cork, from Waterford, from Limerick, from Galway, to other areas because people can't afford houses
Yeah.
in cities, right? So we know that that's happening and we're inflating the costs everywhere else, which is having knock-on effects to absolutely everyone. Sarah, we just keep getting these figures. There's no answer. It's just like, oh, this is Ireland now.
I know, it's absolutely mad. But like, there's a line in the report that found prospective first-time buyers need an average combined salary of 95,000 to get a mortgage, and that includes state support. But you can't get a mortgage. So like, what? Like, it's really like, it's cheaper to get a mortgage, but people can't get mortgages. So they're like, I'll just build myself and, you know, like, see what happens. But now, like, you can't. Like, that's out of reach of the average person's salary. So it's absolute
And
mayhem.
the increase, particularly over the last 3 years, and they say that it has been in materials, it's been in shipping costs, and the war in Ukraine has contributed to it. And post-COVID, the state of the economy. But the last 3 years, anyone building a house over the last couple of years will be able to tell you month by month, week by week, day by day, prices are going up constantly. And it's absolutely heartbreaking.
We'd love to hear from you on this, as always. I know we always talk about housing, but how are you feeling about it? 0896 111 111. Now, before we move on, hold on 1 second. Will you peel this for me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do we need to do it on the telly? Like?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Can you just peel that for me?
Okay.
Wow.
Thanks, babe. Oh, look, he's got away.
Massaging.
Now, can I just say, he is peeling it for me. Sarah, why? Why is this a good thing? What is the orange peel theory?
is
He
this
doesn't
now?
know what this is. which I love.
According to the kids on TikTok, the orange peel theory is basically if you're peeling an orange and the juice is flying everywhere and you're struggling with it a little bit, and your significant other,
It took my eye out. Sorry, go on.
your significant other steps in to do the hard work for you, it's love.
Oh, so hang on. So
No, it's okay. Anton Deck did it the other day.
without being asked, though.
Yeah, with that, kind of, if you just go, I was watching Anton Deck do it, and
Yeah.
and/or Deck went over to Anton. He was like, "How are you? Will you peel me orange?"
All right. So,
And he
but
was
hang
like,
on. No,
"Why
okay.
are you making me do this?" And he kept on going, "Why? No, what's this about?" And he was like, "But will you just peel my orange?"
It's
It is
it's
without
a
being asked. I
sign
need to
of-
volunteer. I would never volunteer. And also, another thing you
Yeah,
should
but
know-
you still- I
know-
handed it to you.
Another, if we're being honest with each other about our relationship, you should know. Here you go.
Thanks.
I never wash my hands.
Oh,
We're being honest. I'm an open book. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us.
Sarah McGuinness, thank you
orange?
so much.
oh no,
Are
I'm
you
okay.
sure?
I'm
Are you
really
sure?
okay.
You want that?
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
0896 111 111. We'd love to hear from you this morning. And just to make sure, you've never worked with Tommy before, have you, inside here?
No.
There on page 3 of the Herald. I knew nothing about fashion when I started, but I like to do something different. Bow on Life After Rugby.
He looks absolutely gorgeous.
Doesn't he look
as always.
amazing there this
Lots
morning?
more still to come on Ireland AM. We'll see you right back here after this.
He knows everything about fashion.
You're very welcome back. Now, since the temporary ceasefire in Gaza ended last Friday, the Israeli military have invaded areas in southern Gaza in what is said to be the worst days of fighting since the conflict began.
Joining us with all the latest is freelance journalist based in the West Bank, Gareth Brown. Gareth, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Gareth, the pictures have been so... Like, we're just sitting here watching it. You're very close to what's happening there. The Gazans were told to move from the north, to move south. So many have done. Practically the whole country is displaced now. What is the situation like, and how are people doing? Because the death toll is rising every single day.
Yeah, it's catastrophic. It's a disaster in every sense of the word. We already saw that very bloody kind of nearly 2 months of combat in northern Gaza, particularly Gaza City. And now the army are kind of moving into the south, where they think much of the Hamas leadership is based, and they're going after, they're looking for hostages, but they're also, trying to kill the likes of Yahya Sinwar, the head of Hamas in Gaza. The fact is that you have, nearly 2 million people now crammed into an area which is less than half of the Gaza Strip. So when I speak to people, I'm hearing stories of 30, 40, 50 people living in 2-3 bedroom apartments, families living in tent cities. There's no water, there's no electricity. There's a handful of supermarkets which are maybe still open, but there's no food on the shelves. And I think the UN have described it very vividly. You're kind of on the risk of seeing a complete breakdown in order, in social order. The humanitarian needs grow every single day. But the aid, the support coming in from Figat Rafah crossing with Egypt is nowhere near sufficient. And since the fighting resumed a few days ago, we've seen it at its fiercest. And it's not really a surprise. I mean, everything we heard from the Israeli military, from the Israeli government, from the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, was that they were going to come back and kind of resume the fighting with full vigor, with full force, to achieve this goal of theirs, which is militarily defeating Hamas. So it's not a surprise, but it's beyond bleak in Gaza.
Can you give us some idea? Why was the civilian population have moved from the north and from all around, specifically to the south? Were assurances given that they would be protected or looked after, or that there wouldn't be attacks? I mean, it seems to be the case that all of the population now has been concentrated in one area.
Yeah, I think there's a huge void between what is being said sort of publicly by the army and what's actually happening on the ground. So initially, when the army went in, to northern Gaza, that's back in October, they basically told the entire population of northern Gaza to go south. Now they're moving into the south, and they've published this sort of map of southern Gaza where they've split it into grid systems. And they've said, well, we're going to attack this grid, so you need to move into that grid. And when we're done attacking this grid, we may attack the grid that you've just moved into. So it's almost a kind of reverse whack-a-mole. Now, just practically speaking, it's impossible. You're not just talking about 2 million people, but you're talking about children, the elderly, people who have been injured, people who are very, very sick and can, hardly leave their bed or their hospital. So it's, practically speaking, it's just impossible. This is obviously a product of American pressure. I mean, I think that is the real clock here, is the Israelis are kind of trying to do as much of this military operation as they can, and all the while, I think behind the scenes, American pressure is really increasing, because the civilian casualties are just absolutely obscene. But practically speaking, if you're a Palestinian in Gaza, I mean, what they'll tell you is there's nowhere safe. There's nowhere safe to go.
It's a shell. Like, we're just sitting here and they're playing politics in the UN, which, I understand that's what they do. Antonio Guterres, has been very strong to the UN Security Council. And as you said, he expects public order to completely break down soon. The Israeli ambassador to the UN says Guterres has reached a new moral low and asked him to resign. We're looking at pictures. There's no place safe to hide. They've surrounded the house of the Hamas leader now, Israel have. They've surrounded his house, Sinwar's house. Is that the end game? Like, what's the end game? When are they going to stop bombing?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know, frankly. I mean, the issue is that Israel has set itself a very, very high bar, to achieve victory. And that's killing the likes of Yahya Sinwar and the military leader of Hamas in Gaza, that's Mohammed Deif, and, dismantling the organization militarily. It's a very, very high bar. And frankly, all Hamas sort of need to do to be able to claim victory is survive. I mean, I don't think anyone expects Sinwar to be in that house. He's not been there for months. He's believed to be in the tunnels below Khan Yunis, which is one of the big cities in the south. So, capturing Sinwar's house or destroying Sinwar's house might have a tiny sort of air of symbolism to it, but practically speaking, it doesn't mean we're any closer to the end of the bombing or the war. I think the real end of the war will be the point where American pressure becomes too much, too great for Israel to bear.
And we're seeing that, Gareth. We're seeing that happen. That the tide is. It took a while now for America to kind of turn. But you're in the West Bank. You're in Ramallah. It's Hanukkah. How are things? Like, how are the Israelis reacting to this? Is there any chance that they're going, okay, lads, enough is enough yet?
I think there's a few voices in Israel saying that, but they're absolutely in a minority. Okay. I mean, I think if you look at Israel as a state, is still so traumatized by the attack that happened on October 7th, and I still think so much of that. This is a very kind of emotive military campaign, and so much of those memories, those horrors are driving this. And I think you know, there's still over 100 hostages being held in Gaza by Hamas and various other groups. But I don't see any decline in the appetite by the Israeli public and population for this military operation.
Gareth, thanks so much for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, please mind yourself, Gareth. Thank you so much. We'll be back with you on Ireland AM in just a minute. Welcome back. Now, it is Christmas. It's Christmas, Ray. You're here.
It's still a bit early.
Almost here.
Another
Almost
couple
here.
of weeks.
And usually, Christmas is the time to watch almost any film starring Hugh Grant. Any single one. 4 Weddings, Rain, Summer, doesn't matter. But this time, he's an Oompa Loompa.
What?
He's an Oompa.
I didn't know he was in this.
What?
I didn't know he was in this. Hugh Grant, I had no idea. That's fantastic.
Oh, my God.
You didn't know? I know.
No,
Sorry.
no, I knew Chalamet.
Chalamet. Should we
Was
say
in
hello
this,
to
yeah.
Brian Lloyd from Entertainment.ie?
Hi, Brian Lloyd.
Hi,
Thanks for
how are
getting
you?
up.
Hello.
How are you? This
Good.
is the new Wonka movie.
Yes, it is the new Wonka movie. Yeah, so this is a prequel. Timothy Chalamet plays Willy Wonka. He arrives in the city to start up his own chocolatier business, but it turns out there's a cartel of chocolatiers led by Patterson Joseph, who people will remember from Peep Show.
Yes.
Remember, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Matt Lucas and a couple other people are as well. This is a big ensemble cast. You have Olivia Colman in there as well. She plays Mrs. Scrubbit, who owns this, like, I guess, like a hotel that Wonka gets captured in. Rich Fulcher is in there as well. There's people from Downton Abbey in there. So, yeah, it's a big all-singing, all-dancing musical version of Willy Wonka. How he became Willy Wonka.
OK, so it's done by the fellow who does the Paddington films.
Yes.
Which, I mean, come on. I think we will now take a look at Paddington. No, Wonka.
Wonka!
I love Paddington.
So you're the funny little man who's been following me.
Funny little man? How dare you? I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa what now?
In fact, in Loompa-land, I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me Lofty.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's the best thing in this film.
There we go.
Yeah,
He's the best thing in any film he's ever in.
That's
And
it.
he's reached a stage of his career where he's like, I don't give a crap. I'm having a good time and I'm going to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you know, apparently, like he said, like doing the makeup and all the rest of it because he had to do like a combination of CGI and stuff. Apparently, he hated it.
Okay.
But because he's such a pro, you never noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hated that, but look, because he does seem to be really enjoying these roles. Like, we
Yes.
saw him in Paddington having the best time of his life.
Yeah.
He's leaning into it, and just this comedic talent is so good. So I thought Olivia Colman, Hugh Grant, it's Hugh Grant.
It's Hugh Grant, yeah, but I mean, it's Olivia Colman plays this like really kind of rough and ready, kind of like almost kind of like our character from Hot Fuzz, you know, Doris Thatcher with the little bit of the accent and stuff. But every scene he's in, like he's only in it sparingly, but when he turns up, he just absolutely runs away with it as well.
I love it.
I would have thought Timothy Chalamet's Wonka would have been really annoying because like he's too kind of like chipper and over the top and kind of, you know, and I thought it would have been annoying. It wasn't.
Oh.
Neil Hannon's songs are brilliant in it as well. Neil Hannon of The Divine Comedy wrote a load of music for it. The songs are great as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like,
Because this is really tough, because obviously it's that time of the year when we think of the Gene Wilder version.
Of course, yeah.
No one talks about the Johnny Depp version, but the Gene Wilder version is up there.
Yeah.
It's all part of childhood. Is there a comparison?
there is to a degree. Like, certainly, I think Timothy Chalamet, you can tell that like he's watched Gene Wilder's performance on repeat, and he's trying to kind of channel that in a little bit. It does have the same kind of level of, I guess, like whimsy, but also like a touch of cynical kind of edge
Roald Dahl
to it as well.
madness.
Like Roald Dahl, of course, yeah. There's always that kind of air to it. But I was surprised how much I liked this. I was going into like the trailers have been crap. The trailers have been really, really poor. But like, don't let that put you off. Like, I really, really enjoyed this.
That's the key, isn't it? Do a bad trailer. And then, so we don't go in with too high
Oh,
expectations.
yeah, my expectations were low. So,
Or
like,
give
that probably...
everything away in the trailer.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna stop doing
Paddingtons
that.
are fantastic. They're
Yes.
brilliant. But based on that alone, I'd certainly go and see it. That's Wonka, and it's in the cinemas this
What
weekend.
are you giving
and
it?
it's cinema.
4 out of 5.
Okay,
4,
that's good.
solid. Let's move on to Leave the World Behind.
Yeah, so Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Mahershala Ali and Myha'la Herald get caught up in the apocalypse. So Julia Roberts and her husband, Ethan Hawke, set off for this beautiful, luxurious house in Long Island. things start to happen. There's a power outage and the Wi-Fi goes, and then they start to kind of like wonder if maybe there's something going on, maybe there's like some natural event has happened. Then Mahershala Ali turns up at the house, and he's actually the owner of the house, and there's been an incident in New York City, and he wanted to go home. And then it sort of becomes a thing of like kind of hell is other people, where they're trying to like try to coexist with each other while all this stuff is unfolding. And then it becomes weirder and darker and more sinister as it goes along.
Okay.
What a cast, though.
Yeah.
It's an amazing cast. Let's take a look at Leave the World Behind.
I went online this morning and I rented us a beautiful house out by the beach. I figured if I made the reservation and packed our bags, it would eliminate most of the reasons to say no.
Oh, this is nice. Kids look so happy.
The Wi-Fi isn't working. Get a pad.
I'm so sorry to bother you, but this is our house.
This is your house?
Oh,
Nothing worse. There's nothing worse. I was saying it was like us at Centre Parks the weekend. When the Wi-Fi goes, let me tell you, and Netflix starts crashing, that's the true test of a
That's
family's
when
love.
you see real people coming out, yeah.
It's on Netflix. Final score for it?
2 out of 5.
2?
Yeah, it's
not great.
Not great.
And
it's not great. I will say Julia Roberts is brilliant in it, in the fact that she can play like a horrible, mean person. She does that
I love her, yeah.
creepily well.
Okay.
And you kind of watching it thinking, I wish they had made this into a comedy rather into a sort of thriller.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Netflix. And Please Don't Destroy is the last one.
Yeah, Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain. Please Don't Destroy are kind of like the new Lonely Island, or like a group of writers and performers on SNL. Yeah. Also, 2 out of 3 of them are Nepo babies, which just automatically makes me think that they are not that talented.
Why are they Nepo babies?
One of them, his father is Higgins, who is from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Yes.
And then the other one was a writer on SNL, and now the 3 of them are writers on SNL.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I don't know, but I think there's some pretty successful and pretty talented Nepo babies out there. But
There are, but
compared to the Lonely Island, who are brilliant, this is I'm on a boat and whatnot.
Exactly. This is... So Conan O'Brien is in this as well. And the thing I would take away from this film is Conan O'Brien should do a lot more comedy films. He's very... like, obviously, we know from the show and all the rest of it, and the remotes that he's done through the years, we know that he's very, very funny. But as a comedic performer, he is fantastic. This is crap, though. This is like trying so hard to be like kind of Caddyshack and Airplane and all the rest of it. Like the thing where they're firing off jokes a minute. The 3 of them are just very, very mediocre. And even the supporting cast really kind of elevates it. Like I said, Conan O'Brien. Meg Stalter is in there as well. Bowen Yang is in there as well. So there's a lot of like SNL alums in it.
Yeah, getting it in. What are you giving it?
2 out of 5.
Okay, 2 out of 5. So Wonka. Go see Wonka.
Go see Wonka.
Wonka's the only one worth watching this week.
Brian Lloyd from Entertainment.ie, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Now, still to come this morning, never forget where you've come here from. Never pretend that it's all real. That's right, the one and only Take That will be chatting to us, and I just realised that I've been singing that wrong my entire life.
I don't know the words of songs. I just sing it. I just
Totally got that wrong.
Plus, coming up this morning, let's take that on the way. Also, we've got plant-based dinners and festive furnishings. What more could you want? Stay with us. We're back after these. You're very welcome back to your Thursday Ireland AM, and still to come, we're talking boy bands and books.
That sounds like a threat.
Well, not boy bands reading books. They're 2 separate things. 2 separate.
That'd be good.
Bookish boy bands.
There's a whole TikTok
Books
series
about boy bands?
They captured the hearts of every teenage girl and boy.
A lot of the boys.
In the 90s, and have been going from strength to strength since their comeback in 2006. Rule the World has to be one of the greatest songs of all time. Take That will be chatting to us very shortly.
You lied. No, we'll let Gary do that in just a few minutes. And most of you will know her as Amanda Kinsella from the smash hit Kin. Clare Dunne will be here to talk Treading the Boards at the Gate Theatre this winter.
Plus, we'll have some reading recommendations for the little rascals in your life. Is that what you call your your children.
Yeah.
Little rascals.
Yeah, that's what I call them.
That's what he calls
What I call them, I couldn't repeat at this hour of the morning on the telly. That's on the way at 9:45. And Paul Knapp is in the kitchen with the perfect plant-based beef Wellington. What's the first step then, Paul?
So what we're doing first of all is we're making kind of the classic beef Wellington was kind of a fillet of beef. So we've got a plant-based fillet here. That was normally wrapped then in a mushroom stuffing. So we're just getting the mushroom stuffing on the go. Little white wine reduction.
What's in the plant-based?
It's a soya-based loin, basically, from a company in Slovenia called Juicy Marble. So what it looks like is kind of almost like a Wagyu beef with the little kind of, you know, like the little bits of fat that go through it.
Yeah.
So it's a soya-based product, so it's very kind of sinewy. So actually it performs very much like a meat, it tastes like a meat, and then the little bits of kind of the mushroom inside of it act like the kind of the fat, so you'd get that kind of speckled effect.
I'm still thinking about that cabbage thing that you did a few weeks ago. It was so good. Looking forward to this. Thank you so much, Paul.
I'll taste that in a few minutes.
Now, our Derek, he's at Epic. He is epic. Everything about him is epic. Hi, Derek.
We're doing our best, Mary. Good morning. Welcome down here to the CHQ in the heart of Dublin City Centre this morning. Interior designer Natasha Rocca Divine is with us from the Savage Squad.
How are you? Good morning.
Really good. So do you? We're kind of matching.
We are kind of matching.
Very festive. Now tell us what's coming up later on this hour.
So we're here in the Epic Centre for Kia's 14-year anniversary, and I will show you some DIY decorations with the Kia and some fantastic brands.
And I believe we have got a flat pack challenge as well.
Derek, I know you've been up all night practicing. I know you have. You've been up all night.
1 minute on the clock, so we'll have more here live from the CHQ Dublin later on this morning. But for now, guys, take a look over there. I kind of feel like I've gay crashed a party as well. I might head in, actually. There's mince pies. Back to you in studio.
Invited to
There's a
every
good party
party.
on in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a party you can't get into.
It's a party when Derek arrives. It's not a party until Derek arrives.
Yeah.
We'll catch up.
Alan Key's at the ready there. He's ready to go.
We'll catch up in just a few minutes for that challenge, and we'll have a look at the Christmas trees. Look amazing.
Now it's time to take a look at this morning's papers. We're going to start with the Irish Examiner. Its headline: Senator says his harasser got off lightly. A Fine Gael politician, Michael Carrigy, who was harassed with threats made to his children and his home, has claimed his perpetrator got off lightly and that the suspended sentence handed down is not enough of a deterrent to others.
€127,000. That's the basic combined salary a couple must earn to buy a new 3-bed semi in Dublin. That's the top story on the Daily Mail this morning. And a new report published today has found that couples looking to buy their first home in either Dublin, Cork or Galway will need to have combined salaries of more than €100,000.
The Mirror's front page letter of the law: Declan Hawley, the man who dragged his dying uncle to a post office and tried to claim his pension, could be sent back to jail for stealing an €8 earring.
The Star leads with Have a Goo Hero. Hero Deliveroo driver Caio Benicio yesterday toasted generous donors who have given over €700,000 to those who tackled the knife man attacking school children in Dublin.
And the Sun leads with I could have been number one. Well, so could any Wham. Yep. Shane McGowan is set to be beaten, it says, to number one in the UK, not in Ireland, in the UK, by Wham's Last Christmas. Fans had hoped finally to get the Pogues fairy tale of New York to the top spot for his funeral tomorrow. The highest it ever got to was number 2 in the UK, I believe.
And the Herald goes with Captain Jack Sorrow. Actor Johnny Depp has confirmed he'll fly in to say a last sad farewell to his longtime friend Shane McGowan at his funeral in Dublin tomorrow.
Budgetary gimmickry poses risk to economy, warns IFAC. That's the front page of the Irish Times. The government's repeated breaching of its own spending rule has resulted in €6.6 billion of additional expenditure since 2021. The Irish Fiscal Advisory Council has warned.
And finally, the Irish Independent also has that same story. Coalition accused of gaming budget rules to hide spend. In the report, the IFAC says the government has ignored spending overruns in health, blurred the lines between permanent and one-off measures, and failed to target cost of living supports to those who need them most. They're making their predictions in terms of overspending over the next number of years as well. They're saying the government is breaking its own rules in terms of increasing budgetary spending by 5% a year, and they plan on doing so for the next while as well. And they're concerned about that, to say the least. Texts, and I don't know the text number. You know the text number.
It's 089 6 111 111 on the screen there. That's
there it is on the screen.
Yeah,
there
it was a second ago. Now, we were talking about that story that's on the front. It's in the Indo. It's also in the Daily Mail today. And that's that you need to have, if you want to buy a house in Dublin, build a house in Dublin, 3-bedroom semi, you have to have a combined salary of 100, or a salary of 128,000.
Dublin's 128. Galway's the cheapest of the big cities, and they're about 115.
Thousand. And Joe says, I'm 42 in January, still living with my parents. I'm so angry about the housing crisis in this country. I'll have to emigrate as soon as I finish college to have any chance of a life. I have to leave my elderly parents.
That is so sad. And there's also like a lot of people kind of think, or a lot of families or elderly parents with land are inclined to go, well, sure, we might give you the bit of land to be able to build. But these the price of building, which is what the focus is in this report this morning, is saying that it's gone up by €90,000 in the last 3 years. So even the cost of just, you might think, oh, we've got the bit of land, we'll be able to build on it. Even that's becoming prohibitively expensive.
Myself and my partner are in our mid-30s and still struggling to enter the housing market. I just don't see any future for us here. If a minimum combined salary of €128,000 is what we need to get our foot in the door, how is that possible in any circumstance? So that's what you need to build, but you also can't get a mortgage now if you don't have an awful lot of money.
Well, this is it, getting the sign-off from the bank to have
that's it. Now, we also did the orange peel theory, by the way. This is if you give an orange to someone and if they peel it for you, they're mad.
No. If you're peeling an orange and they step in and say, come here, let me peel that for you, that means they love
We were talking about nice things. Gemma, my husband always fills my car with petrol, even if he hasn't been in the car. I haven't been to a pump in years. Can we have little bits of that? I'd love to hear little.
Yeah, rather than focus on none of us can afford to build a house. We'll have love, the little things.
0896 111 111.
I can do it. It's on the screen. 0896 111 111.
Well done.
Thanks. Could you just put it on the screen every time I need to say it? That'd be ideal. Thanks.
Now you'll have to have a little patience with our overuse of song lyrics. But our next guest, Rule the World. Best song ever. Take that or chatting after the break. Yeah. Welcome. They're one of the UK's most successful bands with 8 chart-topping albums and 8 Brit Awards, and they're about to embark on a brand new stadium tour. Before we chat to the wonderful Take That, let's take a look at some of their most iconic hits. All complete and utter bops, lads. It is so lovely to have you here. It's been 34 years that Take That have been together. Such a successful marriage. But let's go all the way back to your first ever single. Gary, do you know where I'm going here? Do What You Like. Did you, like that video, smearing food on each other, did you trust the vision, or were you thinking, this is going to haunt me in the future?
Do you know what? I don't know what we were thinking at the time. I think we were thinking, we want to get a record deal. We want to be on top of the pops. We want to be able to play gigs in front of people. It just felt like we were just going down a road to, getting to where we needed to get to. I never dreamed that after all these years, this video would keep showing up on YouTube. See, that's the thing I don't like about YouTube is that no one's safe from their past on YouTube.
I actually think Gary didn't want to be in a group, and he went along with that video thinking this is going to destroy us even before we started.
It was. I mean, I don't know if you've done a video before, but it was out. I think we were all just so excited to be with the idea of making a music video.
There was a camera pointing at us.
It was a camera.
Right.
And no, we just all jumped around crazily.
Of course, Take That came from what we think of as manufactured pop to being completely the masters of your own destiny. There have been so many eras of Take That Taylor Swift. She's all over it these days, but you did it first. So what's the most iconic TT era, Mark?
Yeah, I went to see Taylor. She did a fantastic job. I took my two daughters. It was a great show. I do think we've been fortunate when you've been around. We've probably been around twice as long as Taylor, and so we've had a few moments that have felt really, really special during the time of our band. I mean, we talk about when we played at Croke Park in Ireland as being one of our favourite gigs, a great venue for us, a vast venue. I think the Odyssey tour, the last tour we did, was really important because it was 30 years of us as a band, so that felt really special. But coming back and making this new record, if you want to go way back, the first song that we recorded for this record was recorded in a studio called RCA Victor in Nashville, which is where the person whose poster I had on my window, on my bedroom wall when I first started, Mr. Elvis Presley recorded 200 of his songs. So the big moment happened in the studio making windows. Who would have thought that when I was, 5 or 6, listening to Elvis records, that one day I'd be in the studio making our record where he made his.
I think I played Wise Men Say
on the piano. Yeah. So me and Gaz went on the Elvis tour.
But in the same place, and we're really stretching this question you've asked now, but in the same place, Mark was having his experience with Elvis from his bedroom, but I was also having a similar experience because when I first started singing, one of the first songs I learned to do harmony to was a song called Dream by the Everly Brothers. Dream, 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 dream. That's how I learned harmony. And that was recorded in that same studio. Check this out, kids.
You're back together with a brand new album, This Life. It's your 9th album. Let's take a look at the new single. Gorgeous. Now, Howard, there are so many bands that would rest on their laurels if they had the amount of hits that ye have. So what's the impetus that said, you know what, we still have more to do?
Well, I think it's just part and parcel of what we do, and this is the only thing we know, and we're great mates, and why not get together with your best friends, write music that you love, be creative, and actually at the same time please a hell of a lot of people out there who are still hungry to watch us in concert and still hungry to listen to our music. I mean, what more could you want? It's actually absolutely mind-blowing and incredible still after all these years of still doing it, and I still feel it's not like we're going through the motions. We actually really enjoying it more so than we ever have done, and we're so excited to go on tour and obviously come to Ireland and go out to Europe and go out to the rest of the world next year. It always seems like there's something around every corner, and there is. It's always exciting.
Yeah.
And it keeps us on our toes. And, you know, I think if we didn't want to do it, we really wouldn't do it, because we've all got our own minds. And if not one of us wanted to do it, we wouldn't do it. But we want to do it. We actually want to do it. And I feel like doing this album and writing our own stuff has really opened up the door to creation again. And It feels great.
You did announce a 29-day tour around the UK and Ireland, which quickly turned into 41 dates. You're going to be in places like Musgrave Park, you're going to be in Belfast, in Malahide Castle in Dublin. Gary, I heard that you hadn't told your wife that you were going to go on tour for 11 months. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, that. It's a tricky one, that, because we were on the verge of announcing it, and I thought, hey, hang on a minute, there's still one thing I haven't done here. I haven't had a meeting with the sheriff about this yet. So, so what I do is the way I announce a tour at home is I start by listing all the great shopping cities. So, hey, babe, we're going to Dublin. Oh, we're going to Paris. Oh, look at this. We're going to Berlin. Imagine that.
The clothes and jewels there.
Milan, Lisbon, Barcelona. Look at this. You've got to come. You've got to come. Oh, and while we're doing all that, we're also playing here, here, and here. But
You sell it.
It softens the blow. It softens the blow.
It has been so lovely to see you all together. Mark, of course, wandered off there. Oh, look, there he is. He's back.
Elvis,
Hi, Mark.
the Wanderer. There you go. There's the link.
It's lovely to see you together, and thank you so much for chatting to us on Ireland AM.
Oh, that's
Thank you
very
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Mark had heard that we were talking about Wonka earlier on, and he just had a penchant for the chocolate there. I don't think he'd quite woken up. There are still tickets left for Take That show. That's in Malahide Castle next year. Every other date is sold out. So be sure to check those out. You can also head over to our Instagram, where we'll be giving away 2 free tickets to the show, as well as a copy of their brand new album, This Life. So go over to Ireland AM Instagram page right now, and you could be getting tickets to go and see at the wonderful Take That. We'll be back with you very shortly on Ireland AM. Welcome back. Now, because the two of them aren't here, not a bit has been eaten. I just want to say we've been the best.
Would it
boys
be
for
gone? Because I don't know if you're supposed to keep... Because he put up the dinners, and I'm like, I can't touch it till we go on, because it needs to look all... You know,
But Tommy and Alan would have it.
Yeah.
They'd have it.
They'd have it scoffed.
Gone. The firefighting chef Paul Knapp is here, and we are doing a vegan beef Wellington. This looks spectacular. Can we start?
Absolutely, dig in, yeah.
Oh, we can, all right.
Absolutely,
Okay,
I didn't realise, because I did Tommy's plate there for him, so...
You did this for
That's
Tommy,
especially for Tommy, and a bucket of gravy. Yeah, so what it is, it's an alternative kind of a Christmas dinner, so there's a lot of people that are kind of leaning towards veganism, plant-based diets, vegetarianism and stuff like that. So what we've got is, we've used a product which is a kind of a plant-based loin of beef, shall we say. So it actually looks like and behaves very much like the fillet of beef to make that classic Wellington. So earlier on, what we did is we cooked down some onions, some garlic, we cooked down some mushrooms, about 500 grams of mushrooms. All the recipes are up on Ireland Dam's Facebook page and all the stages and stuff like that, as well as the Virgin Media One's website.
This is for your crust.
This is for the actual mushroom stuffing. The duxelle is what it would be called.
Okay.
So what we've got is we've got some puff pastry, we've got our mushroom stuffing, and then what we've got is what I did earlier on is I was searing off that loin of beef. Yeah. Now, one of the most important things with this is chill, chill, chill and chill, as in the food, not exactly the attitude. Because what we need to do is we need to make sure that this is still warm. If we put that on our puff pastry starts to behave a little kind of, it gets a little bit wobbly and soft and stuff like that. Yeah. So the puff pastry is nice and chilled. We've cooked that, and then all I've done is I would put that into the fridge, and what it comes out like then is just like your mushroom stuffing. And we keep cooking it, and we keep cooking it until we get rid of all of the moisture, because we want that to be nice and dry again, because you don't want to soggy your bottom, all right? So what we did then is we sealed our loin, which was what we was cooking on earlier on, and I just popped that into the fridge.
That's and as you said, it's kind of sinewy.
It pulls apart like a kind of, it's more, rather than actually, say, like a piece of steak, it's more like, say, like, you know, like a stewed piece of beef. Actually, it's very flaky, very kind of tendery and stuff like that. So it's and you get the little marble, to say there's a Slovakian company at the moment that have set up this called Juicy Marbles. There's a guy actually watching at the moment called... what's his name? I'll come back to him in a minute. But Juicy Marbles.
Juicy Marbles.
Juicy Marbles. So what we've got, so what we've done is on our puff pastry sheet, we've laid out our mushroom stuffing, all right? So we cooked that, say, for about half hour, let it chill, then we spread that out. Now, you know when you get, like, that awkward present and the wrapping paper, and you know you kind of think, have I got enough wrapping paper to wrap that kind of a present, and which way do I present it and stuff like that? This loin fits nicely onto one sheet of puff pastry. You could put that there, then you could put another sheet of puff pastry over the top, but the problem with doing that is a lot of wastage, and I think we're quite familiar with kind of food wastage, and we don't really want to be chucking stuff away. So all I've done is I've just trimmed the end off of that there, like this, and I've just put some little ears on the end of it, just so it fits perfectly.
Nicely done.
I'm not really a wrapper of presents. People know when they get a gift from me, because it literally is just kind of scrunched and then taped up and stuff like that. So,
or in the bag, that's always the top package. bag.
So all we do then is we lay that out there, and all we're going to do is kind of like the burrito kind of a thing. I'm just going to push this over here just to seal in the ends, and all we do then is we just roll this nicely and tight, okay? Just like so. So like it is basically like a big kind of a beef burrito. We have our oven preheated to round about 200 degrees. And all I've got here is like an eggless egg wash. Yeah, legless and eggless. An eggless egg wash, just so kind of like it sticks for the glue.
How'd you make that?
That is just actually a plant-based milk and some maple syrup.
Okay.
So that maple syrup is what gives it that little bit of stickiness, which gives it the glaze. So you'd get the sugar normally, say, from like the sugars that come out like the egg and the milk on your normal traditional egg wash. So we just kind of put something in there to sweeten it up. You don't have to. You can just use the milk if you wanted to. So what we've got is we've got this like so, OK? Then all we do is we just give this a brush with our eggless egg wash. Now, this one I'm doing here is actually will be for tomorrow for myself and some of the colleagues from work, because every year we cook the retired members' Christmas dinner. So tomorrow what we've got is we've got about 25 plus retired firefighters from age 55 up to about 80 odd, which is brilliant because they come in the morning, or they come in at 3 o'clock for their lunch, and then what happens is they sort of like they regress as they have a glass of wine over dinner.
Lovely.
And then by the time they leave the fire station, they go next door to the Horse and Hound for a bit of music. They're about 19 years old again.
Do they go to the Horse and Hound?
Yeah, and then there's music and stuff. There's a lad playing music.
This is in Limerick, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, so one of the lads, it's kind of an iconic place for people to have gone to like for an early morning breakfast and things like that.
Yeah.
So all I've done is I've just literally scored it with the back of the knife, not the sharp part of the knife, just to give it a pattern.
Okay.
And then leave that in the fridge for about 20 minutes or so, just so it nicely chills down again. And we pop that into our oven, I said about 200 degrees, and we leave it in there for about 40 minutes, OK?
OK, that's good.
And then what we do is we bang that in there, and by the magic of television, this is what we get.
That's beautiful.
So we get this wonderful, lovely beef Wellington. What I'll do is I'll cut the portion off here, and you can see that. So, and the best thing about this, as I've still got my gloves on, from a food point of view, that kind of soya-based product, it's not like a raw piece of meat. So it's very difficult to kill vegans with food poisoning because it just isn't, do you know what I mean? Because of the kind of the cross-contamination point of view.
We're giving people ideas. Don't try them with food poisoning, lads.
There are plenty of other options available.
So what you get then is you get that lovely kind of flaky puff pastry, you get that lovely mushroom stuffing in there and stuff, and it falls apart like as if it's a braised piece of
gorgeous.
beef.
This is delicious.
And they've actually done a really, really good job. And what's nice to see as well, we've got like a dairy-free Christmas pudding. We've got mince pies that are plant-based as well. So there's custard there, there's cream there, there's everything there. So there's nothing to stop people like myself on Christmas undoing our belt saying, do you know what, I'm stuffed. We too can rub our bellies.
Where do you get, like...
You can buy this online on juicymarbles.com. So you can buy it, and if you order it now, you'll probably get it just before Christmas, because I actually ordered some yesterday. So they deliver on a Monday, and it arrives frozen within 2 or 3 days. So you can bang it straight into the freezer and take it out as and when you need it.
And take it out. It's really, like, this is delicious.
It's scary. Like, the fake meat industry, and, like, to try and get, like, the steak is kind of the pinnacle of that, is going to be a huge business. And I suppose it's something that's better for the environment as well. So if we look at it, it's more of a conscious choice towards... And it's a nice kind of transition piece for people that I say, like, really meaty kind of a people. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it, you see, yeah. I suppose if you're a vegetarian and you're against meat, you might be kind of like, oh, this is you know, it's a good meat substitute.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and it does have the consistency that is different to meat. I'm intrigued by your the mushrooms.
Yes,
because you could use that if you were doing a regular.
Absolutely,
that's
exactly the same.
Beef Wellington on Christmas Day.
That's exactly the same. All it is. So you can use onions or shallots, mushrooms, some white wine, reduce it down fresh thyme.
Beautiful.
And that's all you do is just keep cooking until all the moisture has come out of it, and that's what you want really, because you don't want to get that soggy bottom. But leave it cool down, bang it into the fridge, even use it the next day. Flavours come out and intensify stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Prepare it beforehand.
What was the French word you used first?
Duxelles.
Duxelles,
yeah.
Right, OK.
Just a posh word for stuffing.
Yeah, and Bruxelles.
Having an English accent with a bit of Limerick mixed in there, saying a French word. I love it, Paul.
Yeah.
I love it.
Save that recipe.
This is, as you said, it's on Ireland AM's Facebook page.
Yes.
This is delicious.
Thank you very much.
Like honestly, the food is just so good every time Paul's on. This is amazing. This is so good. Mwah.
I still haven't finished my dinner. Tommy Bow will be on to the next plate, but I don't know.
You still got mince pies and Christmas pudding to go.
I'm not sure. Tommy would have it.
I know he would.
By now, you know that he would. Thank you so much.
Happy Christmas,
And
guys.
we hope everyone inside in the fire station.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Happy Christmas.
Now, after the break, Derek, he's taking part in the ultimate flat pack challenge.
Flat pack challenge.
Flat pack challenge.
Yeah, we'll see you back here for that just after these. Stick around. You're very welcome back now. Derek has been getting Christmassy in the capital all morning.
Harto. We're trying to call him Harto.
Why?
Hartigan, Harto. He's here for some festive fun and festive interior design tips. Harto, how are you doing?
Harto, or Hartgon, there we go. Whatever it is, guys, well, I'll answer. And welcome down here to the CHQ in the heart of Dublin City Centre this morning. I'm in my element, interior design.
I know, you've got really good tips there. Are you free after here to work?
I am. Anyway, Natasha Rocket Divine is with us, looking very festive, by the way. Natasha, first up, let's talk about the Salvage Squad. I loved that show.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? I mean, each designer and everyone in the squad did such a great job. It was a life-changing experience for me because I never really got into the kind of nitty-gritty of DIY. So
never down and dirty.
Never down and dirty.
But this was a challenge for you, and what I loved about it was the whole sustainability angle.
Yeah, we couldn't have anything new. Literally to the photo frames, like everything was cross-checked. So it was that was the biggest challenge for me: the budget, the sustainability, and also the time. As you know, with TV.
Yeah, you're against the clock all the time, but it was that tight budgets, right?
Yeah.
And keeping it under on budget.
Under 1,000, and also, you know, just we all had to upskill. Like a couple of us had never done DIY, so you know, as a viewer, you can look at that at home and go, look, I can do this now. So that's why we're here today, to show kind of upcycling and, you know, just I think pushing that challenge, you know, for everyone.
And obviously Brian Dowling, you're working with Brian.
He's absolutely the best.
Any behind the scenes goss there?
Well, he nearly got hit by my photo frames. The wall collapsed. It was all off camera, but he did very well. He ran out and he saved himself. So
what happens off camera stays off camera. That's it. Anyway, lots of people at home getting ready. If you don't have your Christmas decorations up already, you will in the next couple of days. First up, take us through this wreath.
So this is a gorgeous wreath. It's from Kilkenny Design. I designed the Pink Palace as part of the Salvage Squad, and I want to break the kind of mould of having just red and green Christmas, because not everyone likes that. And especially if you're single or you just want a bit of fun, here's an example of a fun pink wreath. But however, you could have any colour, Derek. You can have black, you can have white. And one tip I would say, if you don't like what you already have, spray it. You know, like
dash of colour.
So if you're like, this reminds me of my ex, I need to get rid of this, I'm going to spray it a different colour, or whatever it is. You know, you need a change in your life.
I'll remember that tip, right? But if you want a kind of a sustainable, cheaper version, then
IKEA, absolutely amazing. So we have one here, and here's a ribbon just made up. So you could stick this on. You know, look at the difference here. We also have extra lights. We've got some stronger ones here. Also, these are fantastic. These are from
little dragonflies
from Kilkenny. So you could clip these on. Like, look at this little tiny difference. Like, you know, some people I like kind of large scale. Some people prefer more low key. So it really depends what you want. You could stick these on here like that. See the difference? Just adding these on and then having the wings out. And also, like, just putting them around. You know, it's just really cute. So
I love this sentimental touch here.
Yeah, so obviously the Salvage Squad, I'm very sentimental and I like sustainability. So this is my Granny Maureen scarf. So I like to bring in things that mean something to me. So you could kind of wrap that around. You know, it's her old scarf, and it was just something that really matters. As you see here, this is
and isn't that a beautiful personal touch to your wreath?
Yes, you can bring in things. So don't spend money. Mix and match what you already have, and that's really what I'm all about.
And of course, IKEA just up the road from us here.
Oh my God! And now they have this click and collect, so you can go to Tesco's and you can pick up from Tesco. Like, you can get your food
I go into IKEA in the morning on a Sunday morning, and I come out on a Sunday night. I just get lost in the place.
It's absolutely amazing. But this is great because you can structure your buying, and then you can go and get your shopping and your click and collect. So it's accessible all around
And it's
Ireland.
one of the busiest stores in Europe as well.
Yeah, 40 million people in the Ballymun store. Like, unreal.
Incredible.
Unreal.
Now, tell us about this one.
So here I love lighting. So I like layering things up. So, you know, this could be in your hallway. It doesn't have to be for the table. You can stack things. So you can have acorns here. You can have, you know, just depends what you like. I like, you know, stacking lighting.
And add that little festive touch to the entrance. To the hallway,
yeah, the hallway or wherever around your house. You can have this, you can have acorns. You can also, I have one kind of prepped here. You can add this in, and then you can add in lighting on top of it if you want. You know, you can put this in here, just add this in. You know, you can put
the lights in at the bottom, and add that lovely little glow, and then stack the acorns on top.
Around it, you know, that way.
And like, if you're out and about on a walk as well, you can pick these up. You just pick them up on the ground.
In the garden, wherever, or go for your local walk. So you can add things in here, and then this
So it's about being creative on a minimal budget, right?
100%, and then this is another candle. So, like, someone might not like any green, let's say. So take that out, and we have a different look. This is also my other Granny Divines from her wedding gift.
Lovely little sentimental.
So you could have that in here, and you can have that over and have that over.
Now, before we have our challenge, by the way, I love this flower bouquet. Something special about that, what is it?
So it's old and new. So we have faux and real flowers.
Okay, and you still get that lovely smell, which is great.
You get the smell of flowers, but you've got the IKEA, the faux flowers mixed in, and it just brilliant because not everyone could, can afford huge
A full bouquet, but still supporting your local
florist, or going
as well.
into your, and also styling around the edges here with a bit of.
Okay, now we couldn't let you go, Natasha, without a little bit of a
I'm so
challenge. And I
nervous.
know you were in a gorgeous Guna here this morning, but we're on our hands and knees because we've got a flat pack
DIY
challenge.
back down and dirty.
Absolutely. Right, tell us what we've got. What have we got to do?
So we have to basically build this kind of unit. Are you ready for this little table here?
Okay, so we've got, I believe,
I'm not giving you any secrets.
1
Derek.
minute on the clock. It's our flat pack challenge. Muireann and Ray, are you with us back in the studio, right?
Derek, I'm
We've a little
nervous.
bit of music, right? So do you want to count us in, Muireann and Ray? Do you want to count us in, guys?
I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
All right,
3,
on 3,
2, 1, go.
2, 1, go. Okay, here we go. Flat pack challenge. Okay, it's Limerick taking on Dublin now. You're north side, by the way, aren't you?
Yeah,
oh,
pass
look
it
at
off.
this. 2 hands. Oh,
wow.
She didn't get the memo. She didn't get the memo. Oh. Okay, here we go. This is the flat pack challenge in Ireland. 1, 2, here we go. Right. Oh.
This one's a bit tight.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at this.
Oh, I bet you're going to do great.
Oh,
Derek,
this
you're
is the way.
a pro.
Look at this. Woo. I'm having a great
is a bit
time.
tight.
How many seconds there on the clock, lads?
Come on, Derek.
Oh no, my screw fell out.
I know, they're tight.
25 seconds. Oh, here we go. Okay, do.
Pressure.
Okay, pressure, no pressure.
Derek,
okay,
you're a
there
pro.
we go now.
You have a job on me, Derek.
Okay, how we doing? Look, both hands are going here.
Savage
Oh,
spot.
this is how easy it is to do. Oh no! Ah!
This is
Oh! There we go, look. Not too bad, I got half a table, right?
You know what? It'd be perfect for our set. Do you know what I mean?
Natasha, you've got a brand new book as well.
I do, and I know that you actually know a couple of tips. You've just taught me a
Yeah,
few things
there
today.
you go. Well, I taught her how to put a flat pack table together. Well, half one anyway. Back to you in the studio. You did pretty well.
You did pretty well, he says then at the end. You did pretty. Who did pretty well?
Hey, it's X Factor. Everyone, a gold medal for absolutely everyone. Well done, Derek.
Give them another minute and they might finish it.
It's
They
a
might get
lot
another
to be
leg
able
on.
to do in 1 minute. In all fairness, I think everyone's had those tables at some stage in their life. Well done, Derek. Go. Thank you.
He's like this. The two-handed special, neither of them going on. Ridiculous carry on. Coming up on the next hour of Ireland AM, actor Clare Dunne talks life on stage and cinema.
She does indeed. Plus, we're going to have some style inspo and Anita's kids reads just in time for Christmas.
It was just like, he just couldn't get it on. Like, he was having no success. It was just ridiculous. You're very welcome back to the final hour of Ireland AM, and we've still got Christmas looks and children's books to come.
We do. First up, actor Clare Dunne will be joining us to chat about being part of Roddy Doyle's latest adaptation at the Gate.
And we've got books full of fun for your little ones. We'll have the top children's titles perfect for gifting this Christmas in just a little while.
And Justine King is here in studio to add a little bit of sparkle to our morning. Justine, what have we got coming up?
Yeah, so Christmas Day, of course, is just around the corner, and we have a little bit of sparkle and then some looks that are a little bit more subdued for those of us who are already over the sequins. But this look, as you can see, we've got a little bit of separates. We have some fabulous dresses coming up too, beautiful handbags, and of course, some fabulous footwear.
Is someone already over the sequence too, I think, with the way she said that? Maybe just a little. Justine, thanks for that. Looking forward to it in just a little while.
And Derek, he's just about recovered from assembling his flat pack furniture. Are you still screwing? Still screwing away.
Going.
I know, we're totally having fun.
I'm still screwing away.
Oh, there you go.
We're nearly there. Look.
I'm sorry.
I'm giving her a run for her money here this morning. We're nearly there. Look, hang with us, Willie. Yeah. Come on. We're nearly there. This is like waiting for Christmas, isn't it? And flip it over. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! There we go. It only took us about 3 minutes. Yay!
I think, Derek, it was maybe you won.
Yeah,
I don't want to
winner, all right.
Done, well done. A student somewhere will be delighted to be getting those very shortly.
Okay, right. You did a great job, lads. Well done. Those legs are wonky, though. That's all I'm saying. But I've got wonky legs myself, so that's fine.
There we go.
You're very welcome back.
We were chatting earlier on.
I'm just saying, since you came back, I just want to say you're welcome. You're very welcome back.
Please stop it. I miss Tommy. And Alan, now come here. We were talking about the orange peel theory earlier on.
Oh, yes. This is the thing where it's a TikTok trend where if you're peeling an orange and your beloved, your other half, volunteers to peel the orange for you, then that's true love. That means they really love you and they
Or if
enjoy
you just hand it to them and say, will you peel it? And you peel it. That's what Anton Deck did.
Right,
and
okay.
they love each other.
Well,
and I
clearly.
handed it to him and he peeled it.
We were neither an Anton nor a Deck. The other things in your life that signifies the love, the true love that your partner has for you. My wife is a nurse, so I help her out in the mornings. This is Paul. He says, I'm always the first one up in the morning, so I'll start her car to warm it up and I'll have a coffee for her to take with her. I also will have the dinner ready when she comes. Are you making this up, Paul? Paul, come on. Self-praise is no praise. I also will have the dinner ready when she comes home in the evenings as she leaves at 6:30 a.m. in the morning to go to work and doesn't get back home till 8 p.m.
To be fair, Paul, yeah, that's a mammoth day. So
Paul, will you marry me?
For doing that.
I mean, if it doesn't work out, give me a call, man.
Sarah, my boyfriend has been putting hot water bottles in the bed for me since the weather's gotten colder. If that's not love, I don't know what is. My mother also wraps the PJs around the hot water bottle when I'm at home.
Your mother, her mother is her true love.
It's a truth. Yes.
And Flat 7-Up, Jen says, whenever I'm in any way sick, my husband will have a bar of chocolate and a Flat 7-Up ready for me when I get home. It doesn't matter the illness. He's always ready and waiting. Hang on a second. Is that Paul's missus?
It's not Paul's missus, no. Flat 7-Up. He knows. He knows what's going on.
No, that's true love.
That's good. Thank you so much for bringing a smile.
You're very welcome back
this morning. We really do enjoy it. Are they welcome back?
You're very welcome.
They're very welcome back. Now, our next guest was named one of 10 European shooting stars last year. Actor and writer Clare Dunne will be with us after the break.
We'll see you after this.
Our next guest shot to fame after her appearance on the Dublin-based crime drama Kin, and from starring in Marvel blockbusters to working with Cillian Murphy, our next guest is showing no signs of stopping.
Here to chat about her new role playing an iconic kids' book villain, it's Clare Dunne. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit tired after being on stage last night, but I'm here.
I know, she's like, thanks for making me come into Ireland AM, lads.
First thing in the morning,
This is so great. Come here, can we first of all start talking about Kin?
Okay.
Because that has grown legs. On the BBC, hugely popular. In Australia, like I woke up one day and they were going mad because it was one of the top 10 shows that people were watching in Australia and New Zealand. And one of the episodes didn't have subtitles on it. They were like, what the hell? No, our show doesn't have subtitles. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Like, it's such high-level production value anyway for something made in Ireland, with all these different like companies involved. And I think everybody feels very proud of it, especially because we started it all during the dreaded C word. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's flying all over the world. It's been a massive reaction. You see, like in terms of streamers and people reacting to it and loving it. The subtitles, though, are required, it seems. So
they are required. And actually, anytime we're doing ADR, it's very funny. It's to do with
what's ADR?
ADR is when you do some audio stuff over what you've already filmed.
Yeah.
And like lots of the notes for Claire, it's like. They can't understand. And I was like, it's for the American producers involved.
Oh,
and
this
like,
is it, yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, you know, and I get real like, okay, all right, but I still have to make it sound authentic and still make it sound Dublin and then cut to, like, we're in Australia and it's got, like, subtitles on it.
You still can't get it. That's crazy.
Still can't get it.
Are there any perks to being in a hit TV show like that? Have you gotten any... deals?
It's just been recognised all the time, regularly on the street. And then I didn't think it was like before it was even on BBC. I was getting even recognised in London because people were managing to watch it through Amazon and things like that. It's just the regular sort of being recognised in the street thing that I am only still getting used to in the last year or two.
Well, there was the air coach, wasn't there?
There's some deals, though.
The big air coach deal, wasn't
the
there?
big air coach deal, yeah. Well, what I will say, one day I was on holiday with my fella and we were coming back on the air coach and the guy that runs the air coach went absolutely crazy that I was on his air, and I was like, it's just quicker to get home, you know, and he gave me a staff discount. So I got the air coach for probably a little bit less than the regular €8.
Hashtag gifted revenue now. It'll be all over that.
They'll
be doing all
money
of that.
everywhere I am now.
This is mad. But with all of this, because, you know, when you're sitting there, oh God, I'm getting recognised in London, you know, the madness of it. You also were involved in that quite phenomenal film herself that you wrote.
Yeah.
So this was about a woman who was trapped in a domestic violence situation. She had two young kids and she was homeless.
That's right. And then she goes on to build a house for herself in Dublin against all odds kind of thing. So it's a real redemptive film. Actually, that released in 21 and then kind of sold in loads of territories. And then just recently we ended up in the top 10 on Netflix film, like globally. So that was kind of incredible. This just happened a couple of weeks ago and I was like, what? So it's mad how like some films can have a kind of knock-on effect, like a couple of years later, they can just suddenly hit a button. And I don't know how it did, but it did.
Well, it's a global story, right?
Yeah.
Of everything that's happening, people being displaced. And I know that you wrote this because you knew someone who was in this sort of a situation. To get involved in something like that and to have this out there and for it to make such an impact.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing. Like when you've got an American producer going, what's your one saying? And to your words, to people going, I get this. Like
You know, I think it fell into the same category as the other show that's on Netflix called Made and things like that. And they said that like a lot of people are watching stuff like that where there's somebody in a sort of like a bit of a hopeless situation and then determined to make it work for themselves, that kind of against all odds, but also because homelessness is sadly a theme all over the planet at the minute, and there's a lot of people feeling uprooted and being moved around because of various reasons like poverty and war. So unfortunately, but fortunately, it's a theme that everybody connects to.
Fabulous film.
We were just talking about the house prices again this morning. It's every morning that's it's in the news.
Every day.
You were filming with Cillian Murphy recently as well. Is that right?
Yeah. They've made an adaptation of Small Things Like These.
Have you read that, Maureen?
I have read that, yes.
Right.
Small Things Like These, why?
Right. I just because I haven't read it.
Oh, sorry. So Small Things Like These, obviously, is Claire Keegan who did she wrote Foster, which was made into On Colleen Kuhn. Small Things Like These, it's a heartbreaking story.
It is, yeah. It's all about a small town in Wexford where there was a Magdalen laundry, and it's kind of based on this guy called Bill Furlong who has like, I think 5 or 6 daughters, which I would really identify with because I have 5 sisters. But and that's played by the lovely Cillian Murphy. And it's sort of a story about him being a guy that delivers coal to all the places in the town, including to that laundry, and him realising that there might not be such great things going on in there and stuff like that. So it's very much set in that time as he discovers it through his eyes. And I'm unfortunately playing one of the nuns.
Bam, bam, bam.
I was just about to say, I'm like, there we go.
But like, it's funny because it's one of those things where at first it's very easy to just assume like, oh, everybody's good or bad. And actually you start to realise that people are torn inside of a system that they feel they're powerless against. And you have to, when you're playing roles like that, you really have to step into that time. It's not that long ago, it's like in the 80s, but it's still in a time when, like for instance, my character would only know one way of thinking in the world.
Yeah.
And it's about like trying to understand their point of view. So it is, although they're quite like perceived as very mean and stuff like that, I was able to find a way in. It was
a different thing. And her, like I think anyone who's seen On Colleen Kuhn knows there's tears. So this is, did you love it? Like it's going to be, loved it?
I loved Claire's book. I loved the film, obviously. And like with this, I'm like, I really hope that it's just as a good adaptation. The director was amazing. He's a guy called Tim Millians. I can't say his name properly, but he was absolutely fantastic.
Those American producers are there again now going, come here, we'll get subtitles on.
Put up the subtitles for Millians there.
For Claire
exactly.
Yeah.
So from a nun in a Magdalen laundry to Captain Hook, which,
yes.
It's
been a big year.
Pretty villainous.
There's been a variety of roles. I've gone from I've actually had another role in an indie film as well, directed by Eva Berthistle, and then another small role in a film with I don't know actually if I can talk about that.
Oh.
No, you don't know. If you don't know, just do it.
No, I can't. It's there's a film starring Orlando Bloom, and I've got a small role, but like I'm sort of it's really weird. I'm playing his mum, but it's in flashbacks.
Oh right, okay. I was thinking, how's that going to work? That's a lot of makeup.
Because I was sitting there going, if Hollywood now thinks that Clare Dunne can be Orlando Bloom's
Yeah,
mad.
exactly.
They'll try anything.
Then we know ageism is mad.
It's a bit mad. So I've had lovely like indie roles all year that are really like, you know, interesting and measured. And now I'm playing Captain Hook. Full drag.
This is Captain Hook, written by Roddy Doyle, reimagined by Roddy Doyle, and it's in the Gate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a very different panto.
It's really different. Like, it's different for the Gate, but it's also like it's much more family show. Do you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I think previously the Gate would still be a bit more catered towards adults, whereas this is much more geared towards the kids and the whole family, which is really great fun. And then Roddy is he's doing genius work with the Lost Boys and the comedy in it and stuff. Like, it's really fun, and the costumes. Oh my God! Like, a lot of people are going
swashbuckling.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, "Where did you get your suit?" And I'm like, "It was made for me." So.
It was made specifically.
No. This is not my costume.
I was just about to say that
was my head inserted on a piece of like other.
On another Captain Hook.
Can I just say, Claire's head clearly there had no neck. So I was like, that's one hell of a costume. That's insane.
You're going to be. This is running until the middle of January. So are you on every night or what's the work?
6 days a week.
Oh my word!
So 8 shows a week.
Any discounts on the buses when you're going home at night time? Or is it just air coaches?
I think it's just air.
She travels only by air coach. She won't travel any other way.
Dublin bus, come on, sort it out. It's Clare Dunne. It's Clare Dunne, lads. So it is the Gates Peter Pan, and it's written by Roddy Doyle. It's running until the 14th of January. She's doing it all. It's fantastic. It's been lovely seeing you.
Yes,
lovely having a chat with you. Thank you so much, Clare Dunne. Cheers.
Thanks, Claire. Thanks for coming
Amazing.
in. Right, I'm over here. Still to come, we have the most popular page turners for children this Christmas.
Plus, we've got some fabulous frocks, of course. We'll be back with you very shortly on Ireland AM. Hello, welcome back. Bit of a delay there as Justine malfunctioned, but she is here for our fashion. From sequin to satins. Hello, Justine.
Hello, good morning.
Sorry, I'm not meant to say that as we get it fixed, but I swear I was just laughing at you
like
doing like this. No, it was fine. There was nothing like that. So, listen, it's that time of year. We'll look at a few festive bits, will we?
Absolutely. So we're looking towards Christmas Day, but of course these looks can work for any time over the next few weeks, whatever you have planned.
Yeah, we'll do all that. So we're going to look first of all at Sarah. Sarah Morrissey is... Sorry, was that our floor manager, Stephen, running right across the camera? Okay, so we have got Sarah Morrissey here with our first look today, which is absolutely beautiful.
Isn't it stunning? This look is from Irish brand On Trend. So they're an online brand. It is a kind of a faux fur that has the beautiful gold foil going through it as well. So this is a two-piece. It might look like kind of a
Oh,
single
wow.
dress. So the top, first of all, is slightly cropped, but I like that it's not too short, and it does actually meet the skirt. But it is sold separately, so this to be worn, you know, with your high-waisted black jeans or a high-waisted black trouser.
So
it
is a two-piece.
Yes.
Wow.
So it is sold separately. So look, yeah, most people will buy it, I'm sure, together, but it does mean you can wear it with different things over the coming season, even with a high-waisted satin skirt or something. The skirt then in itself is so beautiful. It is an elasticated waist, but it is sized. It's small up to large and it has a slight little zip, I think, at the back. And then it's a nice kind of maxi length too. And of course you could wear that then with your black polo neck or something if you wanted to kind of dress the skirt down that little bit.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, I really like that, especially that feather thing. I saw someone wearing something like that last night. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really striking, isn't it? And look, you could dress it. Some people dress up a lot for Christmas Day, and that's what this look would be. But dress it down with your boots and your polo neck, and then you can wear this to your Christmas lunch or whatever your dress your occasion.
Lovely shoes here.
Yeah, so our shoes are all from Shoes in Mallow, SHOOZZ. And these ones are your 100% leather suede. They've got a beautiful detailed heel as well, and then just the little splash of gold across the crisscross at the front.
Very nice. They look like dancing shoes, don't they?
They're really gorgeous, aren't they? Yeah, and comfortable as well. I think with that crossover front that your foot is actually kept in the shoe.
Gorgeous. Let's look at the accessories here.
Yeah, so we'll start off with our jewellery. So all of our jewellery today is from Irish brand Zoe & Co. So the earrings, first of all, that is just one earring. It does look like she has double piercing, but it is nice if you just have the single one. And they are gold plated as well, and they are nickel free, so that's important. A lot of people with nickel allergies. And they are tarnish proof as well. And then the necklace here, so the kind of snake chain we're seeing a lot of, but with the little fat the little flash of kind of festivity with the stars across it as well.
Right, and the bag that you have here today?
Yeah, the bag again from Shoes. This is a really stunning guest bag. I mean, this is your great night out bag. It's going to fit everything you need for a night out. It's got the little bit of studding and then the gold chain as well and the nice crossbody so you can be hands-free.
Gorgeous. Thank you so much, Sarah. I just think there's so much you could do with that skirt.
I know,
honestly.
isn't there?
Like, really loads of things.
Even on its own, if you bought the two together, but then to be able to wear separately.
Ursula, this is lovely.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. We're going for all of those kind of tonal beige look, colours here. Again, the whole look is from On Trend. So we'll start with the jacket here. So it has the slight kind of balloon sleeve and it's a slightly cropped sleeve. Gorgeous shape, this one, and it's a nice kind of to just below the bum. And I love the colour. It's actually a really rich kind of beige shade and it is fully lined as well.
But it can be both kind of casual and dressy. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, you just kind of throw on and go kind of jacket too, but then you can dress it up with the rest of the look. So we've layered it then over this jumper. So this is your great kind of festive jumper. But again, you could wear this kind of with your jeans for a way more casual look. It's got the nice V-neck and then of course it has the sequin detail all over it. That does come in black as well.
And the skirt.
Yeah, so the skirt, and again, the skirt comes in black, so you could actually do the head-to-toe look in all black if cream isn't your thing. But this is beautiful texture to that, isn't it? Really gorgeous. You can see it as she moves there in the light. And then it has the elasticated waistband with the kind of slight lurex going through it too. So again, this is one you could dress right up.
The A-line is gorgeous on that. It's a really great shape. Proper
Isn't it?
1950s.
Yeah, and it's
so
beautifully
good.
lined and everything. I think it looks a lot more expensive than it is, really.
And the shoes again?
Yeah, so the shoes are the same shoe, but then it's in just the full leather in the gold. So again, we have the crossover detail at the front. You can really see the detail there on the heel. It's kind of a little bit something different in that too. And they are very comfortable as well for all day wear.
They do look like they are quite comfortable. We're going to go on to the accessories now.
Yeah, so we'll start with her earrings there. So these, again, we're going for the gold, but they're the kind of cross-on style. So we were seeing the cross-on style a lot in the bags last season, but we're seeing them right into jewellery now in that kind of a shape. Very classic and elegant as well. And then the necklace here. So this is one of Zoe & Co.'s personalised collection. So you can get any initial on that little necklace and you can get the front and the back engraved for free with an initial.
The furry bags, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're
now,
cool, aren't they? I've really gone for texture in this look. So it's mixing the sequin and the kind of feathery skirt and then the furry bag. This is a great tote bag. I think we were saying this look is very Carrie Bradshaw and you could definitely see her with this handbag.
Yeah.
It is that kind of oversized tote and then the bit of gold going through the strap as well.
I kind of feel it's for people like me who want a dog and can't have one.
Well, exactly. Feel like you have a dog.
And we've got Yumiko with our third look.
Yeah, so we have a very classic kind of black and white look here. And this one is all from Nicola Ross, who are in Naas. They have 2 boutiques in Naas and they're an Irish family-run business. The coat, first of all, so this comes in a range of colours and it's their classic coat. It's in cream, in cobalt and in tan as well. And it's that kind of relaxed fit. Easy, kind of your throw on and go car coat and very classic and soft and easy to wear.
Yeah, it's a good shine off that.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? But you'd have that for years as well. So we've layered that over. Again, this dress, they do in a variety of colours because it is a real bestseller because it's a great shape.
Okay, so they've got it in kind of greens, purples, all that kind of...
Yes, they have it in cerise, in dark green, which is another nice Christmassy one, in navy. We've gone for the classic black. And as you can see, like it's kind of cut underneath the bust really beautifully there. Has the slight V-neck and then the kind of detailed sleeve and then the kind of tighter cuff there as well. Okay. So it's a really nice dress. It comes in a small up to an extra large as well.
And then the shoes, I'm feeling kind of Pretty Woman.
Yeah, there's something Pretty Woman, yeah. I wanted to go a little monochromatic in the accessories because we've gone for the all black. So these ones are really pretty. They've got the little kind of pointed toe and they are then 100% patent leather as well. They're really pretty and kind of elegant. You could wear them with white as well, of course, but with the all black look, they're kind of a statement.
And you've gone silver with the accessories?
Yes, so silver in our beautiful earrings here. So these are kind of irregular heart shape studs. They come in gold as well. But again, they are the waterproof and the tarnish free too.
And then
we've got a little bangle there, so the Luna bangle here. So this one, a great stacking bangle. It's got the little diamante detailing, but it's nice and elegant on its own too. But then we've gone for gold in the hardware here in the bag, so bringing back in that kind of monochrome in that quilted leather bag. And this one has a nice 3 separate compartments, so it's a nice practical bag as well. And yeah, it's just gorgeous with the all black, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a classic design really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yumiko. Lovely. And Sarah, Marcy is back with our final look for today, sparkling.
Yes, so we're definitely going for festive and sparkly in our classic green and the bit of sparkle. So again, this whole look is from Nicola Ross in Naas. So this dress is great because it's got the crossover detail at the front. So it's great for a bigger bust as well. And it does go right up to a double XL. So it's nice and size inclusive too. And it comes in a purple, a cobalt and a black. And they also do a shorter version as well if you'd rather get the legs out in a kind of a mini dress version of this one. But it's nice, the kind of contrasting fabric of the sequin just at the top and then the kind of lighter chiffon lined bottom on it, because I think sequin head to toe can be hard to wear. It's not always the most flattering around the tummy.
Okay, and also I suppose with that, even with the sequin, you can put a jumper on, really, can't you?
You totally could.
Use it as kind of like
as a skirt as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Skirt. Now, shiny shoes.
Yes, I've just gone black in our accessories and a bit of silver. So these are a classic kind of court, but then the beautiful crystal detail at the back, the nice sling back, so they're nice and comfortable for all day wear, and then the little bit of a pointed toe as well.
And then a drop heart earring here, is it?
Yeah, so we've gone silver again, but yeah, we're definitely, hearts is definitely the kind of theme this season with the jewellery. So yeah, beautiful drop heart earrings, and they also do come in gold as well, but they're a nice high quality stainless steel. And then the necklace to match that, we've really gone for it with the heart. So we've got the rope detail on the necklace and then the heart pendant.
Gorgeous. And the bag.
Yeah, the bag is a real statement, isn't it? That's your gorgeous party season bag. So this one, the bucket bag, but a nice small little size. Obviously, you can see in the light, the rhinestone is just so beautiful. And that one is from Guess. And then even like the chain detail has a little bit of sparkle to it. So it's really...
I've got a friend who's had one for like 6 years and it always looks great. Do you know what
exactly,
I mean? She's
yeah.
always bringing it out.
It's classic, and I think you could bring that out every party season and it'll always look amazing.
Very nice, Justine King, as always, looking amazing yourself. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. Cheers. Now, coming up next, some Christmas tales for children. We'll be back with you very shortly on Ireland AM.
You're very welcome back now. From fun-filled adventures to modern-day poetry, there's something for everyone when it comes to kids' books this Christmas.
Helping us find the perfect stories for your little ones is CEO of Children's Books Ireland, Elena Ryan. Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Elena.
It's lovely to have you here. Come here. I'm assuming, because we know what's happening with books for adults, very busy. Same for children, still always...
Very much so.
Popular.
Yes, we run the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards, and this year our judges are reading almost 160 books.
Wow.
Now, a couple of years ago it was 100. It's huge. There are so many more books coming out by Irish authors and illustrators. So it's a real golden age. We're so lucky. And a lot of the books I have here today are by Irish authors and illustrators.
And is it still on the list? I suppose the Toy Show always puts a segment of books in it. Is it still like up at books? Did the books go on the Santa list, or is it kind of like, oh, I got a few books as well? When,
I mean, my house is biased, but very much so. The books are on the Santa list and not under duress, Maureen, I hasten to add. But I think, you know, the Beano Annual, the Dandy Annual, those kind of things. And what I've picked out today, really gorgeous picture books that are fun, a couple of really Christmassy books. We like to add Christmas books to our collection every year so that you have a sort of a Christmas box that goes up in the attic and then you come back out and it's all the Christmas stories. So there's a really nice selection, and non-fiction as well. You forget there's a whole range of things, and comics and graphic novels. So yeah, like if we sell books to our kids like broccoli, things that are good for you, then they treat them like broccoli.
You brought a few, well, there's loads to choose from, so you managed to whittle down to a few. Where will we begin?
I think Mary Whatmas that you have in your hand would be a good place to start. So this is from Owen McLaughlin and Polly Dunbar, and they wrote a brilliant book called The Hug, which came out around 2020. So we may have met this hedgehog and tortoise before, but it's their first Christmas and they don't know what Christmas is about. And when they start asking their friends, they hear Christmas is about matching knitwear, Christmas is about decorating the house, Christmas is about eating special food, and it all gets a little bit overwhelming.
But of course, spoiler alert, Christmas is all about getting presents.
Christmas is you're nearly there, Ray. Turn to the last page.
I'll have to finish it.
You'll have to get in there and see that maybe just maybe it's about being together.
It's gorgeous.
It's fabulous.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
There's loads of beautiful pictures inside.
Really nicely done, yes.
We're going to do a bit for the Gael Gori, and this is a Gelach agus Green. And whenever Annie Murren sees her name, she's got to point out, going, look.
Yes, I'm wearing the Keyvon.
And Brian Fitzgerald. Tell us about this.
Indeed. And Galacog's Green is the story of how the sun and the moon came to be in the sky. So if any of our watchers today have kids who share a bedroom, they'll understand that sometimes they come to blows. So this is actually a book within a book, the story of Sol and Luna, a little boy and girl who share a bedroom, and their mum, who chooses this bedtime story to show them that even the sun and the moon had to share a room when they were little. And then off goes Moon looking for her own space, but really she can't find somewhere she likes without sun. And so they come to find a spot in the sky where there's room for both of them to be together when they want and also take a little bit of space when they need it.
Oh, look at them there. There's the mum talking to them, and there are the two kids there, if you can see it. This is lovely.
And
That's nice.
Even Nakal Gaelga Gut, if you don't understand a word of this book, you can see very clearly that's a messy little lad sharing with a very neat little girl. And Gialach agus Green are quite similar in that they're very different creatures in a very small space. So for siblings who maybe come to blows, it's a lovely choice.
It makes a lot of sense, yeah. Max and Chaffee, this is one of the Jamie Smarts. These are there's loads of graphic novel style.
Correct.
That's your in, isn't it? I mean, in terms of kids and literacy, get them reading
totally
comics.
Gives them a path, and like it never say literacy to a child. They're reading this for the crack. It's comics. So this is Max and Chaffee. It's for kind of 5 to 8 year olds. It's a new series from Jamie Smart, so he's really well known for Bunny versus Monkey and Lushkin and then Flember at the top end. But Max and Chaffee is really kind of simple. And it has seek and find pages in it. So Max is a little girl. Chaffee is a cute little white creature that says meep. There's no explanation as to what a chaffee is beyond that.
Okay.
And Max and Chaffee go looking for chaffies on Animal Island. And you have to help them find Chaffee on a few seek and find pages, like Where's Wally? So if you can open up this really busy, cartoony scene and find Chaffee...
Bear with.
I know, it's tricky. You can do it, Ray. I believe in you.
Did you find a Chaffee?
You have to find Chaffee. We'll talk among ourselves.
That's so good. He finds a Chaffee. He's off now. He's going to be doing that for the rest of the day.
Keep looking. That
But
keep you
it's
busy all day.
brilliant for this because it is interactive and it keeps them moving along. So for newly independent readers, it's a great one.
And you, as the CEO of Children's Books Ireland, you must have been delighted this week with the news that the literacy rates in Ireland are huge.
We're doing really well. And like that, we just have to make sure that we keep going up the age groups, giving them books that they will love. And, you know, it's great that their reading attainment is coming on, but actually what we want is that graw for reading, that it sticks with them and that they find something they like.
This is what's interesting because I remember doing poetry in school. I couldn't get it. And I was, you know, anytime I had to write a poem, I was like, Pat sat on the mat, he was a cat, you know, that sort of stuff.
The worst, yeah.
But we're trying to rectify that, to bring children along so as that it's not that part of English that you don't want to do for the Leaving Cert.
Yeah.
And I have seen this absolutely everywhere. This is I Am the Wind, Irish poems for children.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Edited by Lucinda Jacob and Sarah Webb and illustrated by Ashwin Chacko. So the illustrations in this are beautiful, so colourful, so vibrant, so expressive. And that really lifts it. But also, I think we as adults have, as you say, a perception of poetry as this sort of drudge that was bet into us at school. And this is not that. It's full of playful poems and poems about wanting to find a friend, poems about nature, poems about the seasons, you know, old ones like Spike Milligan's On the Ning Nang Nong Where the Cows Go Bong, but also poets who have never been published before. So brand new voices and a really diverse cohort of poets in this book as well. Very cool thing for young Irish poets to be published alongside Seamus Heaney and Evan Boland. But a very accessible collection too. It's not big, heavy, wordy classics all the way throughout. Some of them are 4 lines.
Yeah, and it seems to be a poem a page sort of, so it's not, you can just pick it up, have a flick through, have a quick look at it and put it down
This
again.
is the book that I'm sending to all our friends in America who have kids. You know,
This
I
is
think
a classy
this is a
present,
lovely
though.
thing.
This is the Warren, take notes. This is the classy anti-present, right? Okay, this is the one. Instead of the plastic, this is the present now
This
that
is
it's
the
like,
one.
oh.
I'll get the kudos being like, it'll be in on the bookshelf.
Yeah, and it looks
I'm joking,
gorgeous.
It'll be there because I'm just after seeing This Moment by Evan Boland is in it, which is one of those poems that when you read you want to cry. Like it just is so beautiful. Gorgeous, lovely, lovely,
Beautiful.
lovely, lovely, lovely.
Fabulous.
What do we have next?
Do I have time for any more? That's the poems. Well, there's the call for. I have it over here.
Juniper's
Juniper's Christmas. Yeah.
This is a real kind of modern classic already. It has a gorgeous feel to it. So Juniper is an 11-year-old girl, only child, very socially minded. She's just lost her dad and her mum works in London helping homeless folks in the local park. So Juniper is one of those very grown-up children who knows her own mind. But one day her mum goes missing and Juniper enlists the help of a mysterious man who's been helping around the park called Nico. There's a clue in that, who she believes is really Santa Claus. So with the help of some North Pole magic and her very own reindeer, Juniper has to save Christmas and find her mum all at once. It's a really, I mean, Owen writes brilliantly and beautifully and has done for 20 years
he
now,
writes kids really well and he writes for kids really well and he's very clever and cheeky as well. And it's a good Christmas story over the course of the Christmas holidays. Juniper's Christmas from Owen Colfer, illustrated by Chai Prabat. You can get all of those in your local bookstore.
And we didn't get a time to get to the Unforgettables, which is
Well, forgot it.
The
Unforgettables,
I'm actually sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Elena Warren, thank you so much for joining us for all of this today. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now coming up on tomorrow's show, Eurovision legend Linda Martin will be stopping by for a chat.
Plus, we're going to meet a man who's dated women from all 50 US states, but still hasn't found the one. He's found all the states, but not the one lady.
unforgettables. We'll be braving the cold weather with some winter gardening. Join Martin, Elaine and Shiva tomorrow from 7 a.m. Thank you, Raymond.
Have a lovely weekend. Cheers, darling.
Bye.